Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that we would shoot in my makeup studio. So today I kind of thought, like, over the last couple weeks I've been super busy between like bridal filming and all that stuff that I talk about, things that I wish that I would have known coming into the makeup industry. I went to school, I was professionally trained, and some makeup artists weren't, they were all just self-taught and they got into the industry that way, which is super cool. But either way, I always feel that there's information out there that I wish makeup artists would have told me starting out, and in school they would have taught me, and all this other stuff. So I'm going to create a video how to be the best makeup artist you can be. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to say is that if you're getting into the makeup industry and you want to invest on something and you want to know where to put your money, the first thing I'm going to say is invest in education. Now, a lot of makeup artists that are self-taught, they might say, well, I'm self-taught, I don't need to be educated. And that is false. I'm sorry, that is a false idea, and anybody who has that idea, they're cutting themselves short on how great they actually can be. It doesn't matter if you have zero budget or hundreds of thousands of dollars in budget, you can always educate yourself in the industry you want to be in. Before I went to makeup school, I definitely did all this research, just like reading different makeup artist books, reading about the industry, how to be a makeup artist, and what I could do to submerge myself in this industry and how to be successful. And there's a lot of things that I learned by investing in my education that I probably would have never learned otherwise. Learning to invest in education, you're also investing in other people to teach you what they know and pulling from their experiences. So you don't have to always base your ideas, your thoughts, and your practice on what your experiences are. You can base them on other people's experiences. So you have all these experiences to pull from and all these different things to think about. You can't put a price on that hive of knowledge, right? And not saying you just have to go to school. Like, I'm all about education. I went to a makeup school, but like I said, some artists don't, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean you can't still pursue education in other like avenues, right? So I went to a traditional school for a year, and it was a condensed makeup program for all sorts of makeup, and that was in Vancouver. But then after that, I did about $5,000 or $6,000 in professional development, and that was studying under makeup artists that I idolized. That was studying under makeup artists who had so much more education than I did, and also studying under freelancers, because they were people I idolized, and these are people I cared about. And they were people that were doing this amazing, groundbreaking work, and I wanted to learn from them. So I pay them money so I can either mentor underneath them, watch them how they work, or just have one-on-one education classes with them. You can't put a price on that. If you can learn from these people who've said and done it all already, you don't have to worry about already making their mistakes, because they're going to teach you for you, and you're just going to like be so much better. It's going to aid in your professional self, right? And this is like costing you near nothing. I know I can go on YouTube and I can look up different other artists, and they have different ways of doing things, or they're coming from experiences and they are telling about their experiences on YouTube for free. Like, you can read books, you can watch movies, biographies, autobiographies. The possibilities are endless for education, and you don't have to limit to just being in a classroom. Erica Carr's got a good bridal seminar. It's all online, so you can purchase that and learn how to run a bridal business. There's so many other things you can do to learn how to be a makeup artist, or how to be a better makeup artist, or even what being a makeup artist is all about, without spending a whole ton of money. And that being said, if you're interested in going to going to a school and learning how to do makeup that way, there's plenty of schools out there, but definitely do your research, because you want to pick the best one, the best bang for your buck. You're going to get the best kit, the best teachers, and you're going to get the overall best experience you can, so you can take that forward and be the best makeup artist you can be. So the second tip that I wish that people would have taught me when I was a makeup artist, and I believe that this is something that is going to make you the best makeup artist you can be, is invest in great shoes. Like, if you're working on movie sets, you're on your feet for like sometimes 16 hours a day, and you're standing, you're rarely sitting, you're walking around, sometimes you're running, and you want to make sure you're wearing good shoes, because having good shoes means you have a good back and good knees. I can't tell you how many times I wore runners or just sneakers to a set, and I was standing on my feet for 10 hours, and then when I got home, my knees and my back were just killing me. Not just my feet, but my entire body just ached and ached and ached. I'm like, I'm far too young to feel this way. So if you want to do this for a living, and you want to do it for the long run, and you want to like make sure you you're able to do it and you're physically able to do it, you have to invest in the proper wear to do it. You wouldn't go to a construction site without your headgear, without your protection glasses. You wouldn't do any of that. So why would you go onto a film set or into a bridal job or any sort of makeup job without the correct footwear, right? So that means no flip-flops, no, you know, anything you can bend, any sole that you can bend is typically a no-no. You want to make sure that you're wearing like proper insoles and you're not wearing high heels, and you have like maybe a reinforced toe if you're somewhere that is more of a construction site, if you're going on set that things are still being built on. You want to make sure that you keep this in mind, okay? I can't tell you how many times that my feet, my knees, and my back hurt, and I couldn't understand why I was spending all this money on chiropractor, massage, acupuncture, but all I had to really do was look at my feet and see what I was wearing and realize I was wearing the completely wrong shoes for my industry. So, a shoe store that specializes in orthopedic shoes and orthotics, and I got myself a very, very expensive pair of shoes. And I tell you, it's made a world of difference. I no longer get sciatic pain in my glutes. I no longer get back pain or knee pain, and my feet don't hurt. And let me tell you, trying to work and being in a social atmosphere when you're in a lot of pain is super hard, and you have to make sure you're personable, because in the makeup industry, if you're not personable, that's 90% of your job, is being in someone's face and being pleasant, because nobody wants to deal with a crab makeup artist. How to be the best makeup artist you can be. You want to make sure that your body is physically fit. You want to make sure that you can actually do the jobs and do the hours the job requires. So if it's standing, sitting, or anything else, having your arms up above, like, you know, at shoulder length for a couple hours at a time because you're building something. You want to make sure your hands are able, so you want to make sure that you're physically fit. So I always say, I go to the gym almost every day, and I always tell people I'm not going to the gym because I want to look a certain way, but so I can become a makeup artist, so I can be a makeup artist for 40 years. Because it's a very physical job, and there's a big burnout. There's like a high burnout in our industry because the work is so physical. It wears down the body fast. You want to make sure that you can actually do the work and be physically able to do the work and not burn out, because if you burn out, it doesn't matter what's in here. If your body can't do that, then you're hooped. You can't do anything and you're selling yourself short. So I always tell people who, they ask me like, how can you be successful in this industry, and how did you get into film and this and that and that, and I always say you have to take care of your body. It's so important. So take care of your body, whether that's going to yoga, it's going to the gym, it's lifting weights. Being physically active and taking care of your body is going to take you miles ahead of people who don't, because in 10 years their body's going to break down and they're not going to be able to do the work that you can. So therefore, you will be able to do the work for longer. You'll be able to get different jobs, better jobs. So definitely consider the physical aspect of this job. People often say like, oh, makeup, it's not like construction, it's not like you're an Olympic athlete. And yeah, that's right, we're not, but yet we are still very physical. And just because we're not lifting heavy things all the time, but we still have bags on our backs for 10 hours. We still are on our feet for 10 hours, if not longer. We're under high amounts of stress. We're under, like, you know, we do a lot of crazy things and we deal with a lot of crazy things. So being like physically fit and able to take on those things is going to take you miles than people who don't. So if one thing you're going to take out of this is definitely take care of your body and make sure you're physically able to do things. And if you're running into issues with your knees or your shoulders, any sort of joint pain, make sure you can figure out how you can work around that or modify what you have to do so you can still work with these injuries. I have a really bad left shoulder. I'm left-handed, so my left shoulder is bad. And so I find that anything to do with my left shoulder, it kills me. So now I have to overcompensate with my right shoulder, which is wear and tear on the right shoulder. So thinking about that and thinking like, okay, well, what can I do to help with this joint pain? Do I have to do acupuncture? Do I have to go and, you know, get cracked by a chiropractor? How am I going to do this so I can take care of my body so I can do this job for the long run? So important, you guys. I wish somebody would have told me this when I was younger, so I could have started taking care of my body when I was young, versus trying to reverse damage that I've already done, doing things that I just didn't know was wrong, or things I didn't know I should pay attention to, coming into my 30s. So another way you can be the best makeup artist that you can be is leaving whatever's not serving you, and that's a huge thing even just in life in general, but I find especially in an industry that's as competitive as makeup, there's a lot of negativity out there, so you have to think about what's holding you back. And I find that being an artist already, and this is an artistic sort of realm of, you know, an industry. This is an artistic industry. So there's already a lot of doubt. There's already so much self-doubt out there, and you have to get past it. But it's hard to get past your own self-doubt when people are already doubting you or pushing their negativity on you. So you have to make sure that leave whatever is not serving you, whether it's toxic friends, toxic relationships, and even just toxic social media. How many times have I been asked by different kids and different people who wanted to get into this industry, well, how do you deal with all the pressure? You see all these different Instagram artists and all these different, like, you know, social media artists on YouTube, and how can you be better than them, and how can you like rival with them? And it's like, well, let me tell you what, I'm not competing with anybody, and if I find their work for some reason bugs me, if I get jealous or angry, that's an inside job. That's not their responsibility to think about how they're making me feel. They're just off doing their thing, and it's up to me to do just to go off and do my thing. If somebody comes up to me and they say, well, you know, all these other makeup artists, they're on Facebook and social media, and they make me feel really bad about my work because they're so much better than me, or they're better at marketing, or this and that and that. Well, first of all, why do you feel that way? Do you feel like you're lacking in certain areas? Then maybe you should work on that. But also unfollow all those other artists, because if it's not serving you, then why do you care what they're doing? Why do you care of whose faces they're doing, what products they're using? Why do you care? Because you need to work on yourself, and you feel like, well, marketing isn't my strong point. You can hire that out. You can go grab advice. Like I said, education, you have to invest in it. And if you're finding that you're just feeling really insecure about something and these people are bringing that out in you, you need to leave that. So if you need to delete Facebook, delete Instagram, you need to do that. Just go and do that. Pick it up when you're ready. Pick it up when your insecurities are put to rest. But for now, if you find that that's something that's not really serving you, you need to trash it. There was a couple times where I've gotten rid of all my social media because I just couldn't handle the pressures of being like other people and not being a sponsored artist and not getting these certain jobs that all my other artist friends were getting, and different opportunities that they weren't getting. And it wasn't until like one of them pulled me aside and they're like, oh, watching your stuff makes me sad, makes me nervous. And I asked them why. And they said, because you're doing so good. You're rocking this industry, you're rocking this, and you're rocking that, and your marketing's like on point, and it makes me feel bad about myself. And this is another artist that I looked up to. So we all deal with it. We all have the exact same insecurities. We all have these sorts of, like, you know, self-doubts. Even the people who you idolize have self-doubt. And so you have to realize that you're not alone, but you have to do what you need to do to put that, and you do that. There's nothing holding you back to do whatever you want to do, whatever you got to do to make this work. And then you're gonna be laughing after that. Right? If there's nothing holding you back. Well, this is also a health tip, and this is also kind of just for everybody, but you have to eat properly for your body so you can feel your body to do the work. Like I said before, makeup is an extremely physical job, especially if you're doing it for hours on end. If you're not eating right, you're not feeling your body to do the work you need to do. And I know lots of artists who survive on cigarettes, double-doubles from Tim Hortons, and they go to work and they don't eat anything all day, or they're eating chips and Smarties and sugar. And so basically all they're getting is carbs, and like not even good carbs, they're getting bad carbs. And so 10 years down the road, how you're not fueling your body now for how you want to. You look at your career from 10 years from now and say, okay, well, what am I gonna be doing in there? What do I wanna be doing? And how do I eat right now that's gonna get me there? So if you wanna be fit, you wanna be on your feet for 10 hours and not feel like you're dying, you wanna eat, or you want to like make sure you have energy all day long, you have to eat properly. A few years ago, I worked with a nutritionist and I built a nutrition plan, and I learned how to operate my macros and how to eat right so I could have energy all day long to do the work that I want to do and also feel right. It wasn't about looking a certain way, it was about feeling how I needed to feel so I could get the work done and be a pleasant human being to be around, not get hangry throughout the day, and just make sure that that I was like honoring my body by feeding it properly. So eating like the proper amounts of protein, eating the proper amounts of carbs and fats, and making sure that my body wasn't feeling sick. Because I don't know about you guys, if I just drank double doubles all day and didn't eat anything properly or eat any real nutritious food, I start to feel sick. And then I start to feel dumb and like run down, and then I get sick, like actually physically sick. And that's what you want to avoid, especially if you're working on film sets, because people get sick so quick. People are like around each other, everyone's really run down, they're tired, some are start coughing, and then before you know it, everybody's sick. And you have to make sure that you avoid that so you can come to work and not get your talent sick. So eat right, make sure you know what you're eating and what your body needs to fuel it throughout the day, because not only is that going to benefit you in the present, it's going to benefit you years down the road. If you take care of your body, you do your exercise, your stretching, you listen to it. If something hurts, you figure out why it's hurting, and then you eat properly, you're going to be miles ahead. I remember my friend and I, one of my good friends, we always work on set together. We were just sitting around one day after set, and she goes, you know, I heard this from a makeup artist, and she was older, and she said, oh, I've been a makeup artist for 45 years. And she looked at me and she goes, I really can't wait to say that when I've been in this industry for 45 years. And I said to her, yeah, me too. I want to be in this industry for 50 years. I want to be in this industry till the day I die. I'm obsessed with makeup. I'm obsessed with doing the work, and I'm obsessed with working with other artists. And that's why I decided to film this, because I wanted to make sure that, you know, 45 years down the road, we're all still here and we're not going anywhere. Our health is in check, our mentality is in check, and I want to make sure that we're all still here. Another way to be the best makeup artist that you can be is invest in a power suit or a power outfit. And now I'm not talking about what's the flashiest, the craziest thing, and I know I'm quite flashy and crazy as is, but there's always something you should have that's like a professional outfit that you can wear to a job interview, or if on set, if you're on a commercial set, or if you're going to do a bridal trial, or if you're going to a wedding. Something that's very professional, fits you right, and you want to make sure it looks good. So when you put on a power suit, you start to feel good, you stand up a little straighter, you get a little more confident, and you bring that out in your work. I was like wearing yoga pants and a sweatshirt, and I'm going to set, and I just feel like, ugh, I feel so gross right now. Like, I feel like tired, and then I always kind of felt like it was really just bringing me down. But the days I showed up to work and I wore pants that were black and they were pressed and they looked good. I was wearing a cute top that was conservative but yet still super cute. Wore a little bit of makeup, but not too much, but a little bit. And I was like, man, even though I have only had 3 hours sleep last night, I feel good. And I'm gonna rock this job. And people that really don't realize that those little things, like taking care of your outer appearance and bringing out a power outfit when you feel gross and you feel like you can't do it, putting that on, it brings out that confidence you need to get the job done and get it done right. Invest in a good outfit that's always gonna bring you out of the dumps, and it's gonna make you do the best job you can and give you the confidence to do the job right. Another thing that you need to do if you wanna be the best makeup artist ever in life, in the universe, you have to insure your makeup kit. I learned this the hard way, and many makeup artists have. When I first started makeup, I had my kit, and my kit from school was worth $5,000. It was $5,000 worth of makeup. It's a lot of makeup, and it's a lot of good makeup. So anyways, I left it in my car. Yeah, you know where this is going. And I went to go do a job. Someone broke into my car and stole all my makeup and my brushes. I got back to my car about a couple hours later and saw my makeup was all gone. And I was so distraught. I actually thought it was the universe telling me to quit makeup, because, you know, who just does that? Who just steals a giant thing of makeup? I looked through the alleys, I called pawn shops, nobody had seen it. I put ads out on Kijiji, I looked for it everywhere, and it never showed up. And that was 5 years ago. So part of me was really sad, felt sorry for myself, but in the end it was my own fault. I left my makeup in my car, and I shouldn't have. You need to get insurance on you and you need to get insurance on your kit. If you're a freelancer, you need to get business insurance, and if you drive a car, you need to get business insurance on your car. So if your makeup kit gets stolen there, or if your car gets crushed somehow and your makeup's in there, like everything is covered. You can sleep well at night knowing that if anything was to happen to that makeup, your livelihood, you will be able to get it back and you will be able to replace everything. And also, to go with that, you need to take pictures of what's in your, you need to take recent inventory lists all the time. So try to take one maybe every 3 months. Take pictures, know what you've got in your kit, know what's depleting, know what you have to replace. Just preparing for the worst day is going to make your best day even better, because you know that you're covered no matter what. So if you have to take anything else from this video, insure your kit, make sure you know what's in it, and don't leave it in your car. Become the best makeup artist ever that you can be is an office space. And I'm not just talking about getting like renting downtown in whatever city you're in, or town or hamlet or whatever, and having this ginormous office space where you can do makeup and videos and blah 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 blah. It can even just be investing in an office space at your house. You want to make sure it's clean, ready to go for any sort of a client that's going to walk in. So even if you're like, you know, every an hour a day, you're in there and you're cleaning and you're prepping, you're kind of manifesting the next client. Like, I'm getting this ready for my next client whenever they will come. It'll be clean. Makes you feel a little more professional versus, well, I'm going to do my makeup on my kitchen counter because I don't have a place to do makeup. Well, why don't you designate an area that's your makeup spot? Why don't you designate a room in your house that's your makeup spot? Or if you have the financial ability, invest in an office space somewhere and that is your makeup spot. And that way a client has to come to you and they know it's a professional setting. You know, they don't have to worry about, you know, your cats or your dogs running around, or, you know, a cat jumping up on you. That comes from having a professional office space, wherever that might be, in your house or in an office. It's really important to invest in one, so that way your makeup has a place to be. Also, it's a place that your clients can come where they feel safe, and it has to be clean and ready to go. And that way it just manifests the next client, and it's going to manifest you feeling professional. It's going to make you feel like the best makeup artist ever was, because look at my space, look at my creative realm. This is where I create art, this is where I create the magic. Another thing that will make you the best makeup artist ever is clearing all the junk that goes on in your mind. And that is this negative self-talk. So there's a lot of self-help books out there that talk about positive self-talk and positive affirmations. This is something that's very new to me, and I think everyone struggles with it from time to time, but it's really important to think of talking positive to yourself, talking to yourself like you're your best friend, or talking to yourself like you're a small child. So I just recently read the book, You Are Badass by Jen Sincero, and it talks about basically treating yourself like you're a cute little bunny. So if you make a mistake, or you know, you're not doing so well, giving yourself the self-talk of like, well, you're doing your best, like as if you were a small child who made a mistake. You're doing your best, you tried your best, you know, you learned more for next time, versus I suck, I can't do this, this is too hard, I'm not good enough, like all those horrible things you harbor. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your mind and talking to yourself in a positive way. This is really important because over time you will break down your confidence, and you are your own worst enemy when it comes to that. So making sure that you're talking to yourself, you're believing in yourself, you have to be your own biggest fan. So that way, if you don't even have any fans out there, at least you're your own biggest fan and you're gonna kill it because you believe in yourself, right? And self-confidence is an inside job, so you can't get that from anyone else. So if someone tells you you're great, someone tells you they're your biggest fan, and you don't actually believe it, it's because you have to be your own biggest fan. You have to be your own biggest support system for feeling. And if you feel like, okay, well, this is making me feel like I suck, you need to step away from it. And you need to make sure that you're talking to yourself in a great light. And so if you lost a competition, or if you did a makeup but somebody else's makeup you thought was better, anything like that, or you didn't get this job this other makeup artist did, you have to think about, okay, well, that wasn't meant for me, my time is coming, but I still am proud of myself that I did it, because you did it. Another tip to how to be the best makeup artist you can be is stop obsessing over how you look. Like, stop obsessing over how you look, because nobody else cares that much. Being a makeup artist, nobody actually cares as long as you're showing up clean, you look presentable, and you don't smell, okay? There's girls out there like, well, I want to be a makeup artist, and I'm like, oh, why do you want to be a makeup? Well, I really like doing my own makeup, and I really like doing my own hair, and I always like, you know, being in the beauty industry, and that's great, but that's not all there is. And let me tell you, if I showed up full glam to someone's wedding, they're probably gonna look at me like, why are you wearing more makeup than the bride? And then if I'm wearing full glam and I'm going to a movie set, probably going to actually scare a lot of people. Or half of them only have like 4 hours of sleep, and they're like, wow, there's a girl with like 10 highlighters on her face walking into the beauty department, and you know, it's too much. She looks like she's going on a date, not working on a set. Clean, presentable, you don't smell, and you have to be workable. So if you're wearing false eyelashes and you've got like Mondo brows and your hair is like back combed up to here and you're going to work on set, 10 hours from now, you're not gonna look like that. After all of the stress and the running around and the being on your feet and doing other people's makeup and blah, 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 you're probably gonna look like a melted version of a Barbie. So the best thing you can do is just some light powder if you need, maybe fill in those brows if you've got them or you want them, whatever. Throw your hair up in a pony and get ready to get down and dirty with the makeup. Because in the end, it's not about making yourself pretty, it's about making somebody else's pretty. And that's all people really care about, right? And I'm not saying you show up looking like a homeless person or look like you haven't had a shower in 5 years. I'm just saying that, you know, people are like, oh, well, I broke out really bad, and you know, my eyelashes, I put on fake eyelashes on every day because my eyelashes aren't as long as I'd like them to be, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's great, but if it takes you more than 20 minutes to put your makeup on in the morning, maybe it's too much. Just saying. Like, there's things like if I'm going to a glamour squad, if I'm going to, you know, an award ceremony, or if I'm going to a party, yeah, I'm gonna take 45 to 2 hours on my makeup. But in the end, if I'm going to work and my job is makeup, nobody actually cares how good my makeup looks. They just want to make sure I'm clean, I'm fresh, I'm ready to go, and that's it. And there's so many girls out there who say like, wow, you don't wear makeup to set? I'm like, no, because after the 10th hour, nobody cares, and it all starts to blend together and you look really nasty. Unless you're working and your looks and your makeup on yourself is selling something else, and that is your job. If you're doing makeup on other people, they really don't care how good you look as long as they trust that you've had a shower and that you're clean and that you look presentable. That's it. It's not overdone. Nobody needs to be overdone to do makeup, and nobody needs to be super flashy glitteraholic to do other people's makeup. You show up, you're paid to do someone else's makeup, not your own. Unless you're an influencer or something along those lines where you're being paid to do your own makeup with someone else's makeup or whatever have you, whatever. It's a different story. Another thing you need to do to be the best makeup artist that you can be is have a reliable vehicle. I can't tell you how important that is. First moved back from Vancouver, I had a vehicle arranged for me, and it happened to be a giant lemon, which I've never experienced before because the vehicle I had in the past was super reliable. It was like this big boat vehicle, and it was indestructible no matter what, and it was great. But when I left Vancouver, I had to get rid of it because I couldn't bring a car with me. So when I came back, I got a car, and the car was horrible. And the first job I had on set, it broke down on me in the middle of the hoodoos. For those of you who don't know, it's like a middle of the desert where there was no cell reception and nothing, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody to take me back to set. So I sat on the highway crying my guts out, hoping to God that somebody from set would drive by and find me. Luckily, half hour after being broken down, they did, and they got a tow truck and they helped tow my car to the nearest city, and then I could continue working on. And also, you want to make sure that if you get called to a set or if you get called to a job of any kind, whether it's a bridal job or a set job or anything like that, you have a reliable vehicle to tow your makeup in. I had this giant makeup kit and I was taking it on buses and trains and boats and you name it. And it was just getting tossed around, and it was just horrible. And I do understand that some makeup artists aren't able to get vehicles, or because, you know, whatever reasons, they don't have a license, or their city just doesn't promote everybody having their vehicles because it's so big and it's expensive. But it has been a big lifesaver for me to have a reliable car, because that way I never doubt if I get called, like, can you come to set tomorrow 2 hours away, I can hop in my car and without hesitation know I'm going to be able to get there in safety, and my makeup's going to get there in safety as well. So the last thing that's going to make you the best makeup artist ever, and I do believe this, is you need to focus on the passion, and you need to focus on the service, and then the money will come. Because nobody ever said I became a makeup artist to get rich, because that's very unlikely. You want to make sure that you're following your passion, and your passion has to be doing makeup. Or if it's like more of the chemistry, formulating makeup. Formulating, like, you know, sustainable makeup, makeup that's cruelty free, whatever you want to do. But if your passion is applying makeup and doing makeup on other people, you have to make sure you concentrate on that passion, and you're also concentrating on the service aspect of it as well. Because I can't tell you how much, like, maybe 10% of the job is like the skills, and the rest, the 90%, is working with other people. So making sure they're comfortable in your chair, making sure you're making them as comfortable as possible wearing this makeup, making sure you have good communication skills, making sure you're not over talking and bombarding them, reading their emotions, reading the kind of person they are. What do they need from you? If they need somebody to vent to, you gotta be that person. If they need someone to be quiet because they haven't had a quiet moment all day, you need to be that person who's quiet so they can actually just focus. And if they're an actor, they need to focus on their lines. You can't just be asking them like, oh, I'm your biggest fan, blah, 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 blah. They don't care. They're there to do their job. You must be there to do your job. And that's where it ends. You must concentrate on doing the service. You must concentrate on doing the service the best you can. And also making the person in your chair as comfortable as they can be. Because nobody wants to be in an uncomfortable spot, and nobody wants to be in an awkward situation with their makeup artist, because you're touching their face, and sometimes you're doing makeup all over their bodies, and nobody wants to be uncomfortable in that situation. Like, I read this somewhere, if you don't know them personally, don't take it personal. So if they don't like something you did, it's not a judge on your skill or your character. It's just that they personally don't like it. And then you don't have to take, you can like scratch off your back saying, okay, nothing against me, they just didn't like it, move on or fix it. You know, if you're in the situation where you have the opportunity to fix something that they don't like, then whatever. But if it's a situation where like, well, you know, I didn't really like it, whatever, or oh yeah, like this, or I didn't hire this person for this job because of this. If they don't know you personally, they don't know you personally, don't take it personal. And that's going to clear your mind of so much garbage that gets gets deposited when these sorts of things happen. So thanks guys for tuning into my latest video. I hope this helped you a little bit. These are things that I feel like are really important for people to know when you are starting out in the industry. I get a lot of kids and a lot of teenagers ask me about how they want it, or asking about how I became a makeup artist and that they want to be a makeup artist and they all do all these things. And when they ask about like, well, what do I need to know? And I tell them this stuff, they're like, well, that's not how to do a cut crease. Or how do I get $1 million on Instagram? And when I tell them those things actually don't matter at all, they kind of like look at me like I'm on drugs. So there's a lot of misconceptions, and these are the things that I felt really helpful for me, because like I said, my goal is to be in this industry till like for 45 more years. I want to be in this industry forever and ever and ever. I want to live in this industry. I want to be passionate about it till the day I die. And these are things that are going to help me get there, and they're going to help you too. And it's like makeup tips. They are tips for career building, and that's really important. So thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, please subscribe, press the little bell to get notifications that I post new videos, and comment down below, and thumbs up if you like. Awesome. Have a great day guys. We'll see you later. Ciao.